A funny thing happened to me last Friday. I'd gone into New York to do some holiday shopping. I wanted to get some presents, and I wanted to see the city all decorated for the holidays. You know, the store windows and the big tree at Rockefeller Center. I had gotten into the city early, so by early afternoon I'd bought everything I wanted. Anyway, I was really tired. All that shopping in crowded stores. And I'd made plans for that night. I just wanted to get home so I could relax before I had to go out again. I went to the Long Island Railroad at Penn Station. It was well before rush hour. I had apparently just missed a train, and the next one wouldn't be leaving for 40 minutes. So I decided I had time for a cup of coffee. I bought a Times and went into a small donut shop and sat at the counter. I ordered a cup of coffee and a box of a half-dozen assorted mini donuts. I figured I would eat a couple and take the rest home for my family. Anyway, they were having a special on the mini donuts, and I can't resist a bargain. I started the crossword puzzle in the paper. A few minutes later, a woman sat down next to me on the stool to my left. That surprised me because there were several empty stools. There was nothing strange about her except that she was very tall. In fact, she looked like a typical businesswoman. You know, conservative suit, briefcase. I didn't say anything. I just kept doing the crossword. Suddenly, she reached out, opened the box of donuts, took one out, dunked it in her coffee, and began to eat it. I couldn't believe my eyes. Anyway, I didn't want to make a scene, so I decided to ignore it. I always avoid trouble if I can. I just took a donut myself and went back to my crossword. When the woman took a second donut, I didn't say a word. After all, if I hadn't protested when she took the first one, how could I say anything when she took the second one? I pretended to be very interested in the puzzle. A few minutes later, I casually put out my hand, took another donut, and glanced at the woman. She seemed to be glaring at me. She was making me feel so nervous that I decided to have a third donut. That left only one, for only a minute. Sure enough, the woman took the last donut. I nervously continued eating my donut and decided to leave. I was ready to get up and go when the woman suddenly stood up and hurried out of the donut shop. I felt very relieved and decided to wait for 2 or 3 minutes before going myself. I finished my second cup of coffee, folded my newspaper, and stood up. And there, on the counter, underneath where my paper had been, was my unopened box of donuts.